If you stop for a moment and observe how the real economy works, you'll notice an undeniable pattern. The ones who dig for gold rarely get rich. The ones who truly build empires are the ones who sell the shovels. In the world of livestock and pets, exactly the same thing happens. Millions of people are trying to raise chickens, fatten pigs, farm fish, or they simply spend fortunes taking care of their dogs and cats. All of them share one problem, one constant pain that drains their pockets day after day: food. Balanced feed, what we commonly call purina, is not an optional product. It is the biological fuel of a billion-dollar industry. Without it, animals don't grow, don't produce, and don't survive. However, 90% of this market is dominated by 3 or 4 gigantic multinationals that control prices however they want. They charge you for the brand, for TV marketing, and for an inefficient distribution chain. But we are on the threshold of a historic change. We are entering the year 2026, and Chinese manufacturing technology has democratized what used to be an industrial secret. Today, the barrier to entry to become a manufacturer has fallen. You no longer need a $10 million industrial warehouse or an army of engineers. With a single machine, a single smart investment, you can go from being a passive consumer to being the local supplier that feeds your entire region. In this video, we are not going to talk about vague theories. We are going to do a complete autopsy of the feed manufacturing business. I'm going to take you by the hand on a journey from phase 0, operating from a garage with household electricity, to the industrial phase, where you manage automated production lines. We'll analyze the real import costs, the critical difference between pelleting and extruding, an error that costs many beginners bankruptcy, and how to formulate recipes that give you profit margins that traditional commerce simply can't offer. Get ready, turn off distractions, and take notes, because you are about to receive a masterclass on how to build a mini factory from scratch. Welcome to the revolution of local manufacturing. Before talking about screws, dies, and motors, we need to understand why this is the business of the decade. Why now? Why in 2026? The answer is in the deglobalization of the supply chain. For years, we depended on giant ships bringing finished feed from the other side of the world. But logistics costs, global instability, and the consumer's desire for fresh and local products have changed the rules. A farmer today prefers to buy from a local producer who guarantees a fresh feed made with local corn, than to buy a sack that has been sitting for 6 months in a container and has lost its vitamins. Also, there is the opportunity cost of ingredients factor. Here is the money secret. Raw material is cheap. Corn, soy, wheat bran, bone meal, dried blood. These are commodities. Their price is low. But the moment you mix those powders, cook them, and give them a nice cylindrical shape, their value multiplies by 3, by 5, or even by 10 if you enter the premium pet market. Your business is not selling corn. Your business is transformation. You are a modern alchemist who takes agricultural waste or cheap grains and turns them into high-value proteins. And the tool to do that magic is the machine we are going to import from China. China has become the world's factory for small and medium-scale agricultural machinery. They have perfected cost reduction without sacrificing essential functionality. What it would cost a German or American brand $50,000 to manufacture, in China, you get for $5,000, doing 95% of the same work. That price difference is your entry margin. Level 1. The starter. The flat die pellet mill. Let's get into it. Let's say you have a tight budget. You have maybe $1,000 or $2,000, a space in your backyard or garage, and the desire to work. Your entry point is the flat die pellet mill. I want you to visualize this machine. It's compact, rugged, generally mounted on 4 small wheels. It has a top hopper shaped like a funnel and a powerful motor, electric or diesel, on one side. How does it work? Pure brute force and simple physics. Inside the machine's chamber, there is a thick metal disc with hundreds of holes, the die. and on top of it rotate two heavy steel rollers. You pour the flour mixture into the hopper. Gravity makes it fall onto the disc. The rollers pass over it, crushing the powder with immense pressure and forcing it through the holes. Here is where the magic happens. Friction. By forcing the powder through those tight holes, heat is generated between 60 and 80 degrees Celsius. This natural heat slightly activates the starches and makes the powder compact into a hard, shiny cylinder that comes out underneath. A blade cuts the cylinder to the desired lengths, and voila! You have a pellet. The entrepreneurial focus of Level 1. This machine is ideal for farm animals, chickens, laying hens, pigs, rabbits, goats, and cattle. Why? Because these animals have digestive systems that handle compacted grain well. Cost in China. A machine like this, model 150 or 200, which indicates the die diameter, with capacity to produce between 100 and 300 kilos per hour, costs you between $600 and $1,200 USD FOB. Business model: the neighborhood supplier. Your customer is not the supermarket. Your customer is your neighbor who has 50 pigs. Your customer is the woman who raises chickens in her backyard. You can make agreements with local farmers to buy their rejected crops, small corn, split beans, at dirt cheap prices. You grind it, mix it with vitamins, pelletize it, and sell the sack 20% cheaper than the town's farm supply store. Your margin is high because your raw material is extremely cheap and you have no transport costs. You are recycling value locally. Level 2. The professional, the floating feed extruder. Now, pay attention because this is where most people make the fatal mistake. If your plan is to make food for dogs, cats, or fish, tilapia, trout, the previous machine does not work for you. I repeat, it does not work. Dogs and cats are carnivores, or omnivores in the dog's case, with a short digestive tract. They can't digest raw starch well from a pressed pellet. It will give them diarrhea, and it won't nourish them. They need the food to be cooked, and fish need the feed to float so they can eat it at the surface. For this, you need to level up to the extruder, floating feed extruder. This machine is a different beast. It doesn't use rollers. It uses a screw inside a closed barrel. Imagine a giant continuous pressure cooker. The mixture goes in, and the screw pushes it forward with tremendous force. Inside the barrel, pressure and friction raise the temperature to more than 120 or 140 degrees Celsius in seconds. At the end of the barrel, there is a small nozzle. When the hot, high-pressure mixture exits through that nozzle and hits normal air, a microscopic explosion happens. The water evaporates instantly, and the starch expands. Boom! The feed puffs up. It's the same principle used to make Cheetos or breakfast cereals. The entrepreneurial focus of Level 2. This process is called gelatinization. It makes the feed 100% digestible, eliminates bacteria like salmonella, making it safe, and allows it to float. Cost in China. A small extruder, DGP-40 or DGP-60, that produces 150 to 200 kilograms per hour, costs between $2,500 and $5,000 USD. It's more expensive, yes, but the final product is worth triple. Business model: private label, your own brand. Here you don't sell bulk food. Here you create a brand. NutriCan, PowerCat. You design attractive packaging. The pet market is emotional. People don't have kids anymore. They have dogs, and they want the best for them. You can formulate a recipe with real chicken and vegetables. Use your extruder to create kibble in little bone or fish shapes and sell it at a premium price. You also attack the aquaculture market. Fish farmers pay very well for floating feed because it reduces waste. If feed sinks, it rots at the bottom and kills the fish. With an extruder, you have the quality monopoly in your area. I want to pause here because what we are discussing is the difference between working hard and working smart. Many people see a machine and only see iron and cables. I want you to see freedom. I want you to see the ability to print money legally by transforming raw material. Collecting this technical information, differentiating machine types, and understanding import logistics has taken us years of experience and costly mistakes. I'm handing you this treasure map completely free. If you value this level of depth, if you truly want to stop being a spectator and become a protagonist of the economy, I ask you for something very simple. Subscribe to the channel, click that red button, and activate the bell. Don't do it for me, do it for you, so YouTube understands you are a business person and keeps showing you content that enriches you, not content that distracts you. We are building a community of producers. Are you already in? Perfect. Let's keep scaling, because now we're going to turn your workshop into a real factory. Level 3. The industrial, the automated line. You've succeeded with your extruder or your single pellet mill, but you have a problem, the bottleneck. Producing 200 kilos per hour is fine, but you have to mix ingredients by hand with a shovel, load the hopper with buckets, and then spread the kibble on the floor over plastic sheets so it can dry in the sun. That is not scalable. If it rains, you lose production. If you mix poorly, animals don't get the same nutrition. Welcome to Level 3, the mini processing plant. In China, they don't just sell standalone machines, they sell integrated lines. For an investment that can range from $12,000 to $25,000 USD, you can bring a system that automates the entire flow. Let's break down the components of this line. The hammer mill. You throw in whole corn, whole soy, and it pulverizes it in seconds into fine flour, essential for a good mix. The horizontal mixer. Forget the shovel. This machine ensures every gram of feed has the exact amount of vitamins and antibiotics. Uniformity equals quality. The screw conveyor. Auger. A tube that carries the mix from the mixer to the extruder automatically. It protects your back and keeps the flow constant. The extruder/pelletizer. The heart of the system that we already know. The dryer and cooler. The key to success. This is the piece that separates kids from adults. A conveyor belt machine that passes the feed through hot air and then cold air. Why is it vital? Because if you bag the feed hot and moist, it will fill with mold in 3 days. With proper drying, you reduce moisture to 10%, and your product lasts 6 months or 1 year in a sealed bag. This allows you to sell to supermarkets, ship to other cities, and store stock. Semi-automatic bagging machine. A digital scale that fills the sack to the exact weight, 20 kilograms, 40 kilograms, and a sewing machine that closes the sack. It gives a professional finish. Business model, mass distribution and toll manufacturing, maquila. With this system, you no longer sell only to the neighbor. You sell to farm supply stores, vet shops, and regional supermarket chains. You have barcodes, sanitary registration, and consistency. Also, you can offer maquila service. That is, if a chain of stores wants to have its own dog food brand, Brand X, you manufacture it for them. They do the marketing. You run the factory. It's safe money and constant volume. The technical secret, formulation. Having the Ferrari, the machine, is useless if you don't have the gasoline, the formula. Many entrepreneurs fail because they think making Purina is just grinding corn. It isn't. It's nutritional science. To succeed, you need to understand nutritional requirements. A baby chick needs 21% protein to grow. A laying hen needs a lot of calcium for the eggshell. A dog needs animal fat for energy. Here is your competitive advantage against multinationals. Ingredient flexibility. Big factories have rigid formulas that they can't change quickly. You can. Did the price of corn go up this month? You can replace part of it with sorghum or broken rice. Is soy meal price through the roof? Plus, you can use blood meal, hydrolyzed feather meal, or palm kernel cake if you're in a tropical zone. Do you have access to waste from a chicken slaughterhouse? You can cook it, dry it, make meat meal, and use it. It's extremely high-quality protein almost for free. Learning to formulate or hiring a freelance animal nutritionist to make formulas for you is what will give you the real profit margin. If you know how to use local byproducts that nobody wants, your production cost drops to the floor while your selling price stays the same. Import Guide. Avoid the traps. 24 hours to 27 hours. To wrap up, we need to talk about real logistics. Bringing these machines from China is easy if you know how, but it's a nightmare if you ignore these 3 points. 1. Voltage is your silent enemy. China uses industrial standards of 380-volt three-phase at 50 Hz. In Latin America and parts of North America, we use 220-volt three-phase at 60 Hz, or 110-volt/220-volt single phase. If you don't specify this clearly to the manufacturer before they build the machine, you'll receive equipment you can't plug in. You'll have to change motors and it will cost you a fortune. Always ask for motors customized to your local voltage. 2. Diesel engines for rural areas. If you're on a farm where power goes out every time it rains, or where you don't have industrial three-phase current, do not buy the electric machine. Ask for it with a diesel engine. They're noisier, yes, and require oil changes, but they have brutal torque, power, and give you total autonomy. You can work in the middle of nowhere. 3. The survival kit. Spare parts. Parts wear out. It's metal against metal. The die and rollers in the pellet mill and the screw and sleeves in the extruder are consumables. They have a useful life of 500 to 1,000 hours. Imagine this. You have pending orders, your customers are waiting for their feed, and the roller breaks. If you have to order it from China, it will take 15 days by DHL or 2 months by ship. Your business dies. Golden rule. When you buy the machine, buy a spare parts kit for 1 or 2 years. Ask for 3 dies with different hole sizes. 2 mm for chicks, 4 mm for dogs, 6 mm for cattle. Having those spares on your shelf is your life insurance. We've covered the full path, from the small garage pellet mill to help neighbors, to the industrial extrusion line to create the next leading pet food brand. The 2026 opportunity is clear. Return to local, control production, and eliminate middlemen. China puts the technology on a silver platter at prices we've never seen. The demand for feed will never disappear. As long as there is life, there will be hunger. The question is not whether this business works. The question is whether you have the discipline to learn, the courage to import, and the vision to build. Don't stay stuck in analysis. Choose your niche: pigs, fish, dogs. Research verified suppliers on Alibaba, run your numbers, and take the first step. This was a deep immersion into the world of feed manufacturing. If you want me to make a video analyzing specific suppliers or showing real Purina formulas step by step, smash the like button and let me know in the comments with the word formula. See you in the next video, where we'll keep decoding the businesses of the future. Let's produce!